Joe Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are looking at Metalhead from G.I. Joe Classified. He is an Iron Grenadier, the first Iron Grenadier we've had in the line. Pretty exciting. Also pretty exciting that he comes with tons of gear. Lots of debate lately over what warrants a deluxe figure and what does not. I think his loadout here justifies him being a deluxe figure. Get the nice Renderama on the back. Got whoever this is. I do now think this is pretty sure this is Naugahyde. Little product shots. It's weird. I don't know how they choose what they put in these little panels. But whatever the case is, box looks great. I am happy to have the window back. It's good. It's good. Number 118. Which means I should have reviewed the Techno Viper first, but also I have never gone in order on these. I just, however they come in, they come in. And here's a little sneak peek. It's Metalhead Monday. So this guy's going up today. Techno Viper here. These all came from Big Bad Toy Store yesterday. Techno Viper is going up probably next week because also in the box were Retro Scarlet, Retro Racondo, I can't really roll my R's, and Retro Duke. So I think these retros are going to get reviewed first because I am super, super stoked for those. I'm not going to say anything about them right now, so tune in throughout the rest of the week for those retro reviews. But as soon as I opened up that shipping container from Big Bad, you guys, those retros are killer. Okay, too glossy. I would love to be able to use these backdrops as backdrops for my thumbnails and stuff, but the gloss on them is too much. I wish Hasbro cut back on that gloss, and you'd have some really good tools for figure photography here. That's the one thing I have to say, like, about the packaging, because as obviously, this is all trash in the end to me, so I don't care that much. But you know, those backdrops could have a practical purpose. And it looks like we're continuing. Look at this, just friction holding everything in the tray. No annoying plastic tabs, and the tray is a pretty thin, easy to mash plastic, so it's not a huge pain trying to get this stuff out. Well, he flipped his wig right out of the box. Yikes. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to try to be very careful with... Oh, okay. So these are punched through. So the easiest thing to do, I think, is going to be to... Well, maybe I was wrong. Push the blast effect out. Okay. I don't know if this is the easiest way. I want to try and keep these together because they're a little different, it looks like. So you've got 3 different sizes of blast effects and 2 different sizes of rockets/missiles. Hey, tell me in the comments, those of you who enjoy commenting, what is the difference between a rocket and a missile? I feel one is ground to ground and one is ground to air, maybe? Or not even ground to ground. Maybe like one is meant to have an upward trajectory and the other one is meant to be more of a level trajectory. I don't know. That could be just me looking for... Okay, so those tubes do pop out there. That could just be me looking for reasoning. I'm not basing that thought on anything. Okay, so this pack is fully articulated. You don't have to worry about breaking anything. This is great. I love it. Okay, so let's start with, oh man, not that it'll matter, I'll figure it out later, but I'm not positive which tubes went where. All right, they don't plug in super securely, and I have to admit, I don't love that. I kind of wish they went in there a little more firmly. All right, we'll just leave that how it is for right now. Let's take a look at the figure. We'll put his default hair back on, which I can tell you I will not be using. Don't get me wrong, it looks good. Look at that teardrop. Okay, let's get all of these little bits and pieces out of the way and take a nice close-up look at Metalhead. Nice close-up look. Why are we not focusing here? I've put my phone through the paces today. It recorded a panel at Toylanta. So, not that that should affect its ability to focus. I'm just saying. All right. What is happening? There we go. What, did it need a hand there? It needed a hand. Teardrop tattoo looks great. That face sculpt is excellent. A lot of character. The gritted teeth are nice. The giant eyebrows on this fellow. Very expressive. And then that jet black hair and goatee. Really nice portrait. Very, very well done portrait. We've got whatever all this business is. I like this painted detail. Oh my gosh, between the glare. Oh, it's his cold slither. Oh, that's a weird thing to have on his neck armor. I didn't realize that's where that was. So cold, but it is nice to see cold slither. Again, I'll say, I know there was plenty of talk about the cold slither being on his neck. And when I order these, I don't look at them super close. Now, we do talk about them on Audible Interlude, the G.I. Joe podcast. But I like this. I like opening these and discovering these things and seeing how everything interacts and works together. And it's going to be some effort to get these to line up the way I want. I'm going to leave them where they are for now. It's not too terribly off. But I don't look at the figures too closely. I know I'm going to buy Metalhead. I know I want Metalhead, so I want to discover everything about him when I open him, not from a picture online that may not even look the same, you know, once I've got it in hand. Oh, those shoulders move really nicely. Plastic feels good. He's got solid feeling plastic. Hopefully we are past the lousy plastic being in this line. There wasn't a ton of it, but just every once in a while we'd get a figure that didn't feel quite as good as the others. His joints are moving much more nicely than some of the other ones. This is, production-wise, he's one of the best classified figures I've felt in a long time. Oh, look at the detail on his back. How cool is all of this? So that's what I was saying, is I just don't look at him too closely online. So when people were talking about him having cold slither on him, I just, for some reason, I thought it was a neck tattoo or something. I just hadn't looked that closely at the figure to see what it was. But it's this front piece, which, again, seems a little weird, but whatever. Oh, that's a sheath. That's awesome. So figure-wise, he is unique and great and is going to look awesome standing on the shelf. Hopefully he is well-balanced because he's getting ready to have a bunch of junk put on him. So let's take a look at the junk. I don't know why I'm bothering to stand him up now, because once I get everything on him, he's just going to have to be completely repositioned. So you've got 4 rockets, 4 small rockets, and each of them has a blast port. 4, you've got a smaller, oh, okay, I see how this works now. You've got a smaller blast effect, a middle-sized blast effect, and a huge blast effect, but that huge blast effect does not go into the smaller rocket. It goes into the larger rockets, which here's the size comparison here. So the larger rockets are significantly larger, and they get the large blast effect, where this end will plug into the rocket launcher. And the blast effects all look great. They've as far as I'm concerned, they've pretty much perfected how these need to look. The translucent orange with the white overspray, it looks great. It looks awesome. We have got one helmet that is a vicious, we've only got one helmet. We've got the one helmet that is the vicious recreation of... Now, I don't have the helmet to show you. Here's the original Metalhead. That I didn't have Metalhead when I was a kid. I was not even aware of Metalhead until a few years ago. But when I got this one, I didn't realize he didn't have the helmet. I think he came in a collection that I ended up with. So it was mind-blowing that he had all of his rockets. And I didn't even know, I never looked up or never knew that he was supposed to have a helmet. And I like him so much like this. Those goggles are great, that I don't feel like I need the vintage helmet. I love this little radar dish off to the side here. That's such a nice little touch. I do not know if Classified Metalhead has it. So anyway, here is this crazy looking thing that does not go over his hair. Okay. So the hair comes off and the helmet goes like that. So I absolutely love this helmet, but I'm not going to be using it because I am going to be using, for the same look I've got on my vintage figure, the hair with goggles. I mean, look, those goggles are killer. All the like rangefinder stuff that's on them. That's the look that I want. It's great. It is, again, a unique look in G.I. Joe, so this is what I'm sticking with for this guy. As much as I love his crazy eyebrows, this is just such a good look, and it's very different from anything else in Classified. All right, well, let's take care of this first. He has got a little knife with paint on the blade, and it looks like Hasbro might have realized how significant that is. Slides right into that sheath, and look at that. Barely messes up the profile at all. It's not jutting out and looking all ungainly and awkward. It fits very, very nicely, and it just looks good. It's not sticking out at a weird angle or anything. He has got this blaster that we have seen before, but the red on it looks great. Got a port on the front. I'm a big fan of this particular weapon. I don't think I'm going to give it to him, but I like it. And then we've got this, which I believe we've also seen this one before. But again, with this red detailing on it. Oh, and this is soft. But I will say, as long as they're straight, I don't really mind them being the softer plastic. And this is essentially rubber, but like, as long as they keep their shape, it doesn't bother me. But when they come warped and you just can't quite get them straight again, that does bother me. But this is a cool looking piece. You got blast ports for the grenade launcher and for the barrel. Just cool. Looks cool. Give that to maybe somebody in the Crimson team that needs a different loadout. All right, let's get our crazy. So I like this design because it's got a peg and like it's got 3 different connection points here. So it should stay plugged in really nicely. And that's critical for him. You know, some of the Classified figures have backpacks and they work okay or not well. But this guy's backpack, it's pretty critical that it stays where it needs to be. He has got 2 leg launchers. Oh, that plugs in very, very nicely. I'm very happy with how that worked. Just popped right into place on that ball peg. And, oh wait, are these facing the wrong way? They are. So if you can see, there's a little port in between these two exhaust ports. And that is where that's going to plug in. Oh, I might have these. I think I did put these in upside down, although that doesn't seem to work, does it? All right, if that plugs in there, yeah, because this has a longer piece right here that's going to plug into that little port, I hope. Yep, there we go. So that is actually in there pretty good. Not bad. Oh, wait. Maybe they do both have. Let's see. I don't know. It might not matter at all. If it fits, it fits, right? All right, so that plugged into that port. It's in there pretty securely. I was plugging that in the wrong place, I think. And there you go. In there securely. Works well. And this is nuts. This is just crazy what this guy looks like. He is absolutely. It's a good thing he's a metalhead because he's probably already deaf. So these things firing right next to his head. There's a reason to put the helmet on him. Because that helmet's probably got some built-in hearing protection. But this guy doesn't care. His hearing's already gone. Maybe he worked at a club like I did for years of his life, and his hearing isn't what it once was, and it doesn't matter anymore. Now, let's see. First, I want to get the rockets in there and just see what that look is. Oh. Okay, so I had read that the large rockets do not fit into the upper, or fit into any of the ports. And I thought, well, that can't be right. There's no way they messed that up. They can't come out of the exhaust. I know. There's no way they messed that up. They must fit in there. And sure enough, they do not fit in there. I am pretty shocked at that. So you can see there's no way those are going in there. But the smaller rockets can. But then they're in there so far. Maybe, honestly, maybe the idea is that the rockets are in there and you just can't see them when they're, well, because you can see them there. But they're so loose right there. I don't think the intent was that he be displayed. I think if the rocket, this is my guess. This is me looking for justification of the way Hasbro designed this. Because if you look at the original figure, yes, the rockets are all sticking out. My guess is that the intent for this design was that, because look, that's just loose in there. That if he wasn't actively firing the rockets, you just don't see them. They're like here. Look, I don't know. That's the only thing I can come up with to justify this being all loosey-goosey in here, and then the big one's not even fitting into the top portion. Is that if the rockets, because that doesn't even look good, right? It doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's what I'm going with. And I'm not saying I would prefer it if the rockets were a little larger. If they were all this size, but could fit in. Because I would like them to be visible if he's not actively firing them. But that's what I'm going to have to go with, is that the classified team just decided, well, if they're not firing, you don't see them. That's the only answer I can come up with. So let's see what he looks like when he is firing them. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Phew, I was starting to worry those weren't going to fit in. And I'm generally, while I do like to put my figures in like action-oriented poses, for the most part, I don't put blast effects and stuff on them. That's just not my... I don't know. That's just not how I display them generally. But with this guy, that's how I want to display him anyway. With all the rockets blasting out, because it just looks awesome. Oh, and let me know what you think, and I'm sure you will, but in the comments, let me know what you think about my little theory there about, whoa, they've got a problem. My little theory of why Hasbro designed it that way. I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I am, because it just doesn't make sense otherwise, but that's all I can come up with. And it is okay with me for it to be that way. Because this is how I'm going to display this guy. Is that everything? That's everything. Metalhead is killer. I do think he's a deluxe figure. I do wish that they had just made all the rockets this size and that they could be seated non-firing into these ports. But it's not, I mean, it certainly isn't a deal breaker because like I said, this is how I'm posing this guy. I feel like this is how you have to pose this guy because this is awesome. It's ridiculous. It's great. It's G.I. Joe. It's Iron Grenadiers. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. And until next time, I don't know what the Iron Grenadiers say. I mean, they're not going to say Cobra. They're certainly not going to say Yo Joe. Maybe they'll say Destro. Which, by the way, there's that Destro Tampo that we saw featured on the box. That looks great. I totally didn't point that out. So anyway, there you go. Until next time, Destro.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.